Pregame.com.
Pregame.tv breaking down college football regular season action. There is no preseason unless you count, spring football. We're going to be talking in the SEC. Ole Miss laying 2.5 to 3 at Vanderbilt. I'm going outside my conferences of choice because I've met with the Brain Trust. My Tuesday group meeting, got feedback from an SEC expert. I got the winner in this game, VR. I am confident.
I like it. Here's the thing. When you think of SEC, you're not talking Vanderbilt, you're not talking Mississippi. They're just teams that the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Floridas, the South Carolinas are forced to play.
Well, maybe if it was like a Vanderbilt, it might be a chess tournament.
I'd be all over.
I'd lay the 3.5 pawn.
Athletes, not athletes.
Right.
But with that,
athletes, write that down, steal it.
Right.
Over and over.
With that said, Mississippi's one of those teams where I think they're on the rise. I mean, you got a Hugh Freeze who's in his second season. He went 7-6 last year in his first year. I think that's impressive. And prior to going to Mississippi, he's a coach that won football games. So, I mean, I think that's a big plus for them. Offensively, they have a ton of weapons. And their sophomore quarterback threw and ran for 30 combined touchdowns last year as a sophomore.
142 quarterback rating.
Yeah, and he's got his targets back at wide receiver. Defensively, they were young, and they let up a lot late in the second half of games. I think that cost them. Almost everyone's back, so they just have more experience. On the flip side, you look at Vandy, who they have stud wide receivers, extremely good wide receivers, but they have this quarterback
going to throw it to him,
who was 2009 Mountain West Freshman of the Year, goes to Vandy and has yet to start an SEC game. So here's one of those kids that may have done well playing against the UNLVs, but you're not doing as well playing against the LSUs.
I love Bobby Howell.
LSU's a different animal compared to going up against the UNLV. You could win freshman of the year
Johnny
going
football,
there.
3 field goals against LSU.
Exactly.
Thank you for playing there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. As far as the starter advantage, we got 19 starters. Ole Miss is loaded. You got 13 back from Vandy. And also, if I compare the two programs, obviously there was a period of time Ole Miss program went a little bit through the toilet. Yeah. The Egg Bowl was the rotten Egg Bowl. Yeah. But for the most part, Ole Miss, hey, there are no movies about Vanderbilt football. Ole Miss has The Blind Side. I mean,
Eli.
This is a program that has had some success, that's used to going to bowl games. Vandy, it's like golf clap. We go to our blue bonnet, some Tiger
and they're
Bowl,
good with it. Yeah.
And they're happy.
Listen, they were 15th in points allowed last year.
Always a good defense.
Great defense. And they bring back, I think, 6 starters from that team.
That's right.
But Mississippi has too many offensive weapons, I think, for Vandy to keep up on the scoreboard. Where Mississippi will put up a 30 spot on a lesser defense, I think they'll still put up 20, 24 points against a Vandy defense. And I don't see Vandy's offense being able to put up close to 20 points against Mississippi.
And here's where I really like the play the most. It's like the past 2 years, Ole Miss has lost to Vandy. They lost laying 2.5 just 2 years ago. And last year, it was revenge time. They were home, brand new head coach, and they had it. They're up 26-20, gave up a long touchdown pass, end of the game. Lose a game they should have won. Lose 27-26. I love that. The better program with the better team comes in. Okay, they're on the road, the first game. However, they're off. They got the back-to-back revenge. And I got the better team and the better program. I know I'm going to get absolute full focus. This one is circled. This is the sort of game Ole Miss says, we win this game, we got a chance for a really good bowl game. We lose this game, we're in all kinds of trouble.
I agree.
Whereas Vandy
it's just going to get harder.
This, they're like, oh yeah, we beat these guys the last few years. We'll be okay. We don't get enough respect out there from the marketplace. And one thing too, I wanted to mention, and maybe let me make it official, and I'll make. All
right.
Yeah. All right, let's make it official. Ole Miss laying 2.5. There's still 2.5 at the LVH, a couple other places, going to 3. And one of the reasons. A couple reasons I really like this play. Like I said, my Tuesday group, which VR played hooky and didn't go to the first Tuesday group meeting.
Yeah, I didn't
you
go.
were doing intensive research. I know you were. And you got plenty of time to be briefed on all that. They really embrace this play. Like the revenge factor, huge, the much better team. And another reason I like is that the Golden Nugget wants me to win this bet, or they think I'm going to win that. Aaron and Tony Miller over there, they opened this game 4. They had Ole Miss -4. They are higher than everybody else in the world. Well, guess what? Everyone's coming back to the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, back to what their number was.
And I think that Golden Nugget number, the more research that I did, they really do their homework. They don't just do power ratings. They look at situational spots. They saw what a good spot this was. I think they nailed it. I think that those who went ahead and took the +4 and the +3.5 on the openers, well, I don't think you're going to get there because I think the -2.5, it is a strong free play. SEC, not my conference of choice, but when I get a couple sharps line up on it, I do the research, I agree, got to fire.
I like how you said that because I always have that as well in my different experts. Like you said, you're SEC expert, and you have guy you look at for baseball, guy you look at for different conferences, for different sports. I think every bettor needs to know their limitations. Whether you're a one person or even if you work as a group. Exactly.
I have overextended myself.
I agree.
Stay up all night doing all the box scores the last couple of years. Stupid.
I agree, and that's exactly it.
I'm doing 3 conferences.
I love watching SEC football, but I know there's someone out there that knows a lot more than the SEC than I do. So I just find out what they like, ask every week what they're betting, and hopefully I agree so I could bet a little more. But if they come at me with a good reasoning, I bet it blindly. I know if this person wins long term for me, I'm going to bet it.
Can I give you a game of the year?
Give it to me.
Big Ten.
Give it to me.
Bonus Big Ten.
Right now.
Bonus pick. Barry.
Uh-oh.
Mark this down. Bonus pick. Wisconsin +10.5 against Ohio State. Wisconsin lost 5 games in
Wisconsin,
overtime.
what was the line?
Wisconsin catching 10.5 at Ohio State. The perception is Ohio State's way above Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin lost 5 games in overtime last year. Ohio State had a ridiculous season where teams their schedule was cream puff city, and Purdue had them beat. Purdue was up 8 at the end of the game in Columbus, and Ohio State came down and scored, and everyone's like, oh, Urban Meyer's, they're going to be the next Florida. At the end of the year, Ohio State's going to be ranked. They might be ranked high, but power rating-wise, I don't think there's going to be much of a difference at all between these teams. Remember,
I agree.
Wisconsin's won the Big Ten, not 1, not 2, 3 straight times.
Yeah, they have.
They have proven it. And last year, with all the problems and the suspensions in their division, the lepers or the losers, I don't know which one they classified them in, but Ohio State wasn't in there and Penn State wasn't in there. And basically, it was them or Purdue or Indiana. So they knew they were in the title game the whole second half of the season.
Yeah, I remember that.
Every time they had a game they had to win, they destroyed
teams.
the team.
Yeah.
And you remember that title game where they beat Nebraska by 111. And I really think that we are going to see a fired up Badger team catching double digits, ridiculous. No way they can be 10.5.
I like it. When is that?
I do not know.
When is
Don't have the
game?
date. I'm unprepared, but it is the winner.
I like it.
Yes. So lots of
2 picks.
2 bonus pick. Lots of Barry's probably going camera to camera. He's like, stick to one camera, Fezzik. What is wrong? Have you ever done this before? Special thanks to our producer handling all the technical stuff. Barry Wong in the booth while Vegas Runner and I do our best to pick winners. Brian, we miss you. Hope you're having a good time.
On the strip.
On the strip.
Got his tanning oil.
That's right. Getting ready. And we'll be here all summer. It's almost here, fall. Get excited.
Dig it.
Pregame.tv.
Nothing left to do but climax.